Kicking off a week of summer events and reveals, Sony walked in the door first and presented us with a Sony State of Play presentation on June 2nd. Now that the dust has settled, I've had time to sit on my thoughts, and now I want to talk about what truly got me excited while skipping over the announcements that left little to be desired. Howdy Hello, and welcome to Alphaphenomenon Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Phat Love, and I'll be taking you on a journey through gaming with reviews, news, and commentary. Sony had 20 game announcements, and of those, I was excited for 5 of them. Let's start with the game that evaded leaks and truly surprised me. Until Dawn 2. Now this one came later in the showcase, but it's the only announcement that I didn't see coming and got me the most excited when the title card flashed on screen. I personally saw the original Until Dawn as a standalone entry and something that wouldn't get a sequel due to the fact that we have the Dark Pictures anthology and The Quarry to play. I was happy though, and it was a happy surprise when the screen flashed and the title was revealed because I literally, no joke, screamed at the TV. In a world of leaks taking the joy out of every surprise, I managed to watch something with a blank canvas in the year of 2026, and the payoff was a feeling of joy, knowing I would be playing a new game I didn't know existed 3 minutes earlier. Now, I can't speak on the story or the journey to the end, but with these types of games, I'm sure I'll love certain characters and hate others. That's just the formula for these titles. I am sold on Until Dawn 2 being the name though. I'm sold on the type of game it is. Most importantly, I am sold on the setting of the game. Now, I'm sure the game will be silent, nothing being released until next year when we might get a new trailer or release date, but until then, I am glad this game is being made. Now, when I saw the trailer for The Lost Wild, I'll be honest, I was sold immediately at dinosaur survival game and the Unreal Engine 5 graphics looking as stunning as they are. For a 2027 release window, I can absolutely not wait for this one. There's really not much more to say about it, but there is sure plenty to look forward to. When it comes to games with a lot of gore or blood and a mature rating, I tend to be cautious, especially when you add a horror element. But Ill looked pretty sick, pun intended. Now, all seriousness, this is another game coming in 2027, and we'll have our hands full this fall, so this is one that we are going to be looking forward to. And other than looking visually stunning and modern enough to give my nightmares, I'm looking forward to seeing what this game throws at me, quite literally, next year. Okay, here we are. The big day one purchase for me in September is Marvel's Wolverine. This is throwing a huge wrench in the rest of my play schedule because so many games are releasing and dropping in September. But I cannot wait to get my hands on the latest Insomniac title. The new extended preview not only sold me more on the fact that Insomniac is reaching into my back pocket, but the release date being on a Tuesday means I'm going to have to use a few PTO hours to get into it sooner than the weekend. It's far too long of a wait time if you feel me and I don't have the whole 4 hours at night before bed. Nah, fam. Nah. We going all in. We taking the day. Now, since we got the OG X-Men films from Fox, mutants have really basically vanished. And I am so glad in 2026 we are getting them back both on the PlayStation and, if the rumors are to be true, on the big screen at the end of the year in Doomsday. It is about time. I have limited knowledge of the lore behind God of War, but the 2018 title was absolutely phenomenal, and I plan on playing God of War Ragnarok this summer. That being said, the reveal of God of War La Fey had me excited for what comes next. The extended One Last Thing trailer and gameplay look at this new God of War game was stunning, and I already know I'll be picking this up when it finally releases. The look at how combat differs from Kratos especially had me intrigued, as I am a huge fan of action RPG games, and this looks to be giving a deeper combat system to Lafay that we all are probably realizing. I'm looking forward to this when it finally releases, hopefully in 2027. Now, these were the 5 titles I was most interested in from the PlayStation State of Play presentation, and as a whole, I would have to say that this presentation sits at a comfortable 5 out of 10 for me. I don't think it had a knockout 20 games back-to-back showing, but the 5 I found interesting are more than enough to keep me from my already large enough backlog of games on my PlayStation 5. I know this episode is short and sweet, but do not worry if you want more. Stay tuned and subscribe or follow the podcast, because I'll be posting my thoughts about Xbox and Nintendo showcases very soon. Keep your ear to the ground. Leave me a comment and start a conversation, because I'll be checking them on Spotify and YouTube. Now, until next time, it's Phat Love. Peace. That's all I've got to say. If you played it, let me know what you thought. Hit me up on YouTube or leave a comment on Spotify. Thanks for listening. I'm Phat Love, and this has been Alphaphenomenon Gaming Podcast. Peace.